Welcome to Wood Talk, crafting artisanal sawdust since 2007. Now here are your hosts, Marc, Shannon, and Matt.
All right, it's show number 595. On today's show, we're talking about what to do when your workbench sucks, is wood acclimation BS, and running a lathe backwards. Also, I got a new bike. All that and more.
You got a new bike.
Yeah, we're not talking about it right now. We'll talk about it later. All that and more coming up.
Jeez.
But I'm all business. Listen, Nicole made a ham.
I'm all business.
There's a ham in that kitchen, and the kids are out there eating it right now like little monsters. There may just be a little bone when I get there, and I'm looking forward to this.
She's probably
ham.
Sitting on your new bike eating the ham, too.
Probably greasing it up with her greasy fingers. It's a brand new finish. Come on. Don't grease up my new bike. Anyway, we do have
a good start. This is great.
as always. First, we want to let you know that Wood Talk is proudly sponsored by Woodcraft. Woodcraft is the leading authority in woodworking, making, and creating. They have the tools, supplies, and expertise, as well as hands-on classes to inspire creativity at every level. Learn more at woodcraft.com. Don't forget to use that code WT2025 to get 10% off. Exclusions apply. Refer to the last show if you'd like to know what those exclusions are.
Yeah, all the fine print.
That
would have been a good segue. Do you know who else has a greasy finish?
Yeah, there you go. They got plenty of greasy.
They got lots of greasy finishes.
Good greasy finishes that actually look nice.
The kind you like.
Yeah, the kind you want. Actually, I want both kinds.
Ham-on classes.
I want ham grease. I want finishing grease. I want it all. Give it to me.
Tallow.
That's the Schwarz's
tallow.
next book. Not make a soft wax polish. How to make a greasy ham finish.
A greasy ham finish sounds great. Give me some of that.
That would sell. That's a clickbait title if I've ever heard it.
Got it.
Come on, Chris. We know you listen to this show. You just won't admit it.
He's making fish glue. Why can't he make ham finish?
Yeah, exactly. Fish glue, greasy ham finish.
It sounds logical to me.
All right. Sure, I guess. Let me reel this thing back in here for a second.
Go for it.
You know, our show is also sponsored by the generous contributions of people like you. I don't know why you support this thing, what we're doing after that. If you want to help support the show, you can absolutely totally do so. You go to patreon.com/woodtalk and sign up to become a patron of the show. We like to thank, let me scroll to the next page, Lord Master.
Lord Master.
You went down. You got to keep going
Wexer.
up. I want to hear it just keep getting higher and
I'm going up. I'm up.
There we go.
Ian LaFair, Samuel Folks, Kenneth McCabe, and Britt Simmons.
Hey, I think we're kind of we're all yapping when you said the second one. Let's make sure that guy's name gets read by you.
Yeah.
Franz Wexer.
Yeah. I feel like we just stepped on you the whole time. So
Yeah.
let's make sure Franz
how's
got
it
his.
any different than any other time I'm trying to talk?
I know, but this isn't about you. It's about Franz, and I wanted to make sure he was recognized.
Yeah. Yeah. What he said.
Because he's here to pump you up. All right.
Sure, you've never heard that before.
I knew Shannon was definitely thinking it.
I was thinking it. I was trying to be professional.
I was just the one that was dumb enough to say it. So you guys remember we announced the giveaway last couple of shows. We do have a winner for the taproom cutting board. Man, a kit to make a cutting board, not a taproom. The winner is a person by the name of Matt Croyle.
His address is...
I know there's an address here. I have to be careful. I put this in here. Someone might read it, but we're not going to read your address, Matt. We're not going to dox you on Wood Talk. But congratulations, and let us know how that cutting board kit turns out. And Shannon's got a little bit of feedback from our previous winner.
Yeah, you guys remember Joe? Who
I do.
had like Wisnowski or whatever? Well, first of all, Mark, congratulations. You pronounced his name correctly, according to Joe's email.
Excellent.
But he wrote in and said, I think we were asking, we hope Joe even has a lathe. So he said, I wanted to write and thank you and Woodcraft for the new set of lathe tools. Yes, I do have a lathe. Awesome. And I think it's an interesting story, an interesting enough story to share. So we need cue the old-timey story music. Let's go down Joe's memory lane.
Told that black and white filter on.
Yeah, right? That's a dream sequence. After making several staked leg projects with octagon legs, including a set of octagon-legged bar stools, I knew eventually I would want to play around with turning. I even bought a pair of dead centers in the thought that I might build a knockdown pole lathe, because he's an idiot like me.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't going to say it. Glad you did.
He did. I actually edited that out. He already said that. So
Okay, nice.
But when a broke down old 1930s Craftsman lathe came up in an auction down in Amish country, I couldn't resist. No joke, I won it for $10. It has the old exposed safety never V-belt pulleys and came with a half horsepower motor that spun 2 times as fast as it should. Another $20 on the correct half horsepower motor, and I was in business. My current lathe tools are another $30 auction special. They're unbranded. No one would ever take responsibility for these things. I do think they're high-speed steel, but I'm very curious to compare them to this new mini set and see how much the tool quality affects the cut quality. I'm still quite brand new to this, having only made a few practice pieces and a new handle for my dad's favorite garden tool.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Hey,
There you
that's
go.
awesome. I love getting that feedback.
Thanks,
I
Joe.
still want to
Glad
know
you
what
didn't-
what he thinks about the lathe tools, though. But at least this was
Yeah.
this was an update. This is good. He does have a lathe.
Yeah. Well,
Just
we'll have
doesn't
to ask
work.
his dad how he likes his new favorite garden tool.
Yeah. What garden tool do you think that is?
don't
If
know.
you had to
It sounds-
speculate,
It sounds dirty.
I mean, I do a little bit of
Like a
gardening.
little trowel or a little rakey thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I have a favorite at this point.
A scythe. That's my
It's a
favorite.
scythe.
You know what? I'm going to change my answer. I do have one. I've got a mini rake that I really enjoy using. It's just fun.
It's a little Reiki thing. Like
Rake
Matt said.
stuff. Sometimes I rake piles of dog poop when I've neglected it too long.
You're a gardener now. That's nice.
I've always been a gardener. I love planting vegetables and then ignoring them halfway through the season. like it's not my responsibility anymore. And then my mom comes over and she's like, "What is going on with the
What is
tomatoes?"
this?
I don't know. It's your problem now. All right. Anyway, a couple of announcements here because we are getting into that time of year. Black Friday sales and all those promotions are going on. So we actually have some of our own to announce because that is our right and privilege to do it on this show. In past years, whoa, there's a blue jet just flew by.
She's quick.
Okay. Yeah, so we thought it'd be a good idea. We've done this in the past where we realized after the holiday that we never even mentioned our own sales on the show. We've done
We're
that
very
before.
good at promoting
Very
our own
on
things.
brand for us.
Yes. So I'm going to give you guys mine real quick. The Wood Whisperer Guild has a Black Friday 40% off coupon code for a single course. Nothing from 2025, and they are clearly labeled as Black Friday. So if you're not sure which ones came out, it's just the way that we protect people who pre-order and they get a nice discount.
Protect them.
We protect their purchase and make them not feel bad about the fact that someone else might get it a little cheaper until next year. Then we don't care if they feel bad. So Black Friday 40 is the discount code. Black Friday 40 at thewoodwhispererguild.com. Also, Backside Sandpaper has a sale going on our Wood Whisperer specials. These are the 3 packs of the grits that a lot of woodworkers would find very useful. Those are 20% off Wood Whisperer specials. So if you haven't tried Backside Sandpaper yet, now's the time. I do have to warn you, if you try it, you're going to want to use it all the time. And then you're going to be kind of hooked on it. And then you're going to be mad at me because now you don't want to use regular sandpaper.
That is a problem.
It is. It is indeed.
But that's also like 40% off because it's double-sided sandpaper. right?
No.
You're saving 20%, but you normally have to buy 2 sheets of sandpaper to get the same amount of sandpaper. So that's
Right.
actually like 40% off.
I love his logic. Nicely
I work
done.
in marketing.
Very good.
I've got hand tool school sale. See, it's Black Friday sale. So like normally it would be 40% off, but it also happens to be the 15th anniversary of the hand tool school. Started October 16th, 2010. Believe it or not, 15 years have gone by.
Don't
So I'm
believe
throwing
it.
a little bit
I
extra.
refuse to believe it.
Wow.
I know, right? It's 50% off, 50% off if you use the code HTS50 for 15. Yup.
Wait, that's the
With
code
4
HTS
spelled out,
50.
not like a 4.
FOR15.
Yup.
Shannon, I thought you
I
were the
know.
marketing guy.
Exactly.
You got to
I
really
didn't say
want
I
it.
was a good marketing guy. I just thought I work in marketing.
I hope that you also put all the misspellings and the other ways people might make that code happen just to make sure. Okay. All right. I won't say anything.
Dispelling my secrets. But yes.
That's a trick
What
that I
I've
do.
discovered in 15 years of running the hand tool school, it does not matter what I make the coupon code. Someone will always find a way to screw it up
Yep.
or miss where you're supposed to input it, go through with the sale and then have me refund it later. I could make the code free or 1, 2, 3, 4, like, luggage
That's the same.
codes. And people will still get it wrong.
We just watched Spaceballs, man. I introduced my son to Spaceballs, and he absolutely loved it. I
Good.
feel like my work here is done.
you can quit now.
Yeah,
You're done
parenting is done.
Go to bed. You're done.
All right, Matt, what are you selling? What are you hawking over there?
Hawking. Okay, over at my site, that's mattcorona.com. I'm going to be doing free shipping on chair kits, and then there'll be some discount on everything else. It's going to be category based. I don't know what they're all going to be yet, but it'll be there. Everything will be there. No coupon code needed for anything.
That sounds good.
Just be there.
Just be there.
Deal. Hey, you know what I didn't get a good Black Friday deal on?
Pants?
Nope, my new bike.
Oh.
Greasy ham finish?
Nope, just paid full price for it, like some kind of loser. So, all right, let's get to what's on the bench. It's a natural transition, right?
Oh, we're
Good
just
segue.
going to... We don't... Okay, whatever. Don't want to talk about
I'm
how
hoping that
sad
what's
you
on the
are.
bench is a new bike because that's all I care about at this point. So,
Would you guys like to talk about the new bike?
I would.
I mean, I like to listen to you guys talk about it.
I'm happy to. Let me at least tell Shannon what it is. Matt, you won't
Please?
care. Yeah,
This is a surprise. Like normally I would have gotten a text. I'm literally shocked. I did not know this happened.
I've been so
kind of
busy.
hurt.
I've been
Thought you guys
super
were
busy.
friends.
Well, we used to be, but no. So I got a Madone, the new Madone, the Gen 8. Yeah, they've
at you.
kind of relaxed the geometry a little bit, so like my old decrepit, nearly 50-year-old body can still handle it. And the thing is a beaut, man. Actually, I thought about this, and not that anybody cares about my fitness history, but I got Shannon to thank for a lot of these things. He was the reason that I originally got a Peloton, like back in the day. And then I rode a Peloton for years, so just part of my regular fitness program. And then when I was like, you know what, I might want to go outside at like sometimes. I might want to go outside. So I was
I
like,
took the Peloton and I put it in the yard.
so then I did it
that's what I was
outside.
thinking.
That's a great idea. These things are a little
Plug
heavy,
didn't
but
reach, and it was kind of useless.
they're kind of heavy, but I see where you're going with that. So I was like, what do you ride? What do you like? And I took his recommendation and got a Trek Damani, and it was a fantastic choice for me. And so I got Shannon to thank and blame for a lot of the money that I've had to spend for my fitness.
Do you still have the Damani?
I traded it in.
Okay, well, I mean that's good, but
It was the new one was pretty expensive, so I had to kind of reinvest it into the new bike.
So, like, how different does it feel? I mean, I didn't realize. I haven't looked at the latest gen to see that they've relaxed the geometry, but it was always super aggressive. Like,
Yeah, it's
I
not-
rode it before I bought my Damani, and I was like, yeah, I'm not racing anymore.
Right.
I have a TT bike. Like, if I want to go fast
Sure,
and
sure,
pay
sure.
attention to the time, like this was, and it was too much like my old Specialized tarmac. I didn't need it to be race aggressive anymore. So, like,
Yeah. It's not that
Can you tell the
aggressive. I mean,
difference?
for a guy, like I said, what am I, 48 now? And I have like pretty periodic lower back problems. It's comfortable. I mean, I've done 2-3 hour rides on it and feel pretty good. I don't have any issues with it. So they have really relaxed it enough, and I think I could probably tweak it even more to become more comfortable. You feel some of the bumps a little bit more, but like when you're on the flats, you feel like you're on ice. And I love that we just turned this into a bike podcast.
what's your group set? I don't care. We're not done yet.
So I got a Shimano Di2 something or other hooch on there, but it's all electronic shifting. And let me tell you, I went from the SRAM setup and where you could just update everything on the app. So of course, guys, if you haven't been paying attention to like bikes in a long time, you have apps now to update things and update firmware. I had to get wires to connect this Shimano to update the shifters. How stupid is that? It's so dumb.
Yeah. And
Man,
there still is a wire to the derailleur, right? I mean, the brake levers are wireless now. They have coin cell batteries.
yeah, they
I
are
think,
coin
but-
cell. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've got both. I've got a Shimano on my TT bike, and I've got SRAM on my Damani. And I mean, it's nice. The Shimano battery lasts for flipping ever. I do find myself like stressing about battery life on the SRAM sometimes.
Right.
I've never run out of battery, never once, but I just know that like I'm going to be stuck at the bottom of like 3,000 feet of climbing and
Right.
be stuck in my big ring. But
yeah. I've forgotten a
Still.
battery. I've done that.
Yeah.
That was no fun.
Nice. All right. So last question, colorway.
Okay.
What'd you get?
You gotta. I'm letting you run the show right now. I'm scared because I'm pretty sure no one else is listening to the show anymore.
There's a lot of cycling woodworkers. Maybe it's just my little echo chamber of Instagram, but there's a lot of us.
Okay. All right. Go on.
So what color? What was the colorway you got on?
They only have two for this for the 2026 year. So they have red and white. So it's red, but normally I would not get a red bike, but it matches my truck, and I've got a red truck. So I'm like, all right, like I'm okay with this now. So it is a beautiful red. It's got nice matte black trim on it as well, which is really, really nice. So I'm stoked, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
so what were we doing?
Those who are bike people,
No idea.
we will know when Marc has truly swallowed the pill when he buys a set of carbon wheels. I'm still waiting for the carbon wheels to show up. Deep section carbon wheels. It's going to happen.
Let me send you a
Watch
picture.
this space.
Let me send you a picture of my bike, and then you can adjust your expectations because they might already be on there.
Yeah. See? Told you. It's happening.
Okay. So yeah, aside from new bike day, I didn't do a ton of woodworking in the last couple of weeks just because unfortunately I had to go back to it's one of those things. It was a family funeral. That's the unfortunate part. The fortunate part is you go back and you get to see family you haven't seen in a long time, introduce my kids to cousins and aunts and uncles that they have never met before. Got to enjoy some really wonderful food, took the kids to New York City. And with all of that, I came back with a nice hearty to-do list. As I saw family members with things that I could potentially make for them that would make their lives easier, I couldn't resist. And this wasn't one of those things where they're pressuring me to do it. It was like, man, what would it take for me to make something that suits that particular specific need and then just ship it out? It's not that big of a deal. So now I've got this little to-do list that I'm working on.
Right on. That's cool, though.
But glad to do it, considering these are family that I don't really get a chance to see anymore. But I guess now that we live in Missouri, it's not quite the same drive to Colorado, which we do all the time. It's a little bit longer than that drive, but it's kind of similar to go in the other direction. I don't really have as much of an excuse to not visit anymore. But I guess every time I visit, I'll bring some stuff out and then get a whole new list of things that I need to build when I get back to the shop. Oh, there goes another blue airplane.
Another blur. Another Cremona blue blur that just went by. I think I saw on Instagram, did you guys go to Hershey Park?
So yeah, Hershey Park was closed, but we went to like the indoor facility where you could
Chocolate World thing.
Oh my God, there's so much chocolate there. There's so many things. Like I do have a sweet tooth, but you put me in that situation.
5-pound Hershey bar. Yeah,
yes.
Nice.
Then the giant Reese's cups as well. That's one of my weaknesses. We went on a little tour. The kids loved it. It was great. But definitely was nice because it was like off season, midweek. There's like nobody there. So it was pretty
Chocolate
fun.
World tour has been like a lifesaver because every year when we take Heather's kids to the music in the parks thing, it's usually early enough in May that it's still like somewhat rainy and cold. So like we freeze to death and then we go on the Chocolate World ride and there's like ovens where they show where they're baking like the cocoa beans and it's like, oh, we're like
you can smell it, and it warms up a little bit. Yeah. It's super fun. Yeah, we had a good time. Kids
singing cow song memorized. I've heard it so many times.
Right. All right. So that's about it for me. Matt, what about you?
Is that it? Really?
Yeah, I could say more, but I've said enough. I didn't expect new bike day to be a feature on the show.
Yeah.
But you got a new bike. Day.
So I heard you got a new bike.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I'm good. You can go.
I've been just kind of plugging away on a few things here. Most notably and excitingly, I guess, has been working on this breakfast table thing for the guild, which has been fun to kind of dive back into that whole like thought process of like teaching and figuring out like the best way to present things in a sense. And I kind of forgot that I have so much anxiety when it comes to the guild projects from that time when we go from rough layout on the parts to chopping all the boards up and then being done with that stage because I can't go back like ever.
Yeah.
So I'm like super particular, but like I make sure I got every single shot that I possibly need. I've talked about everything. I go through and do the full edit to make sure I'm like, okay, I'm happy with how it all laid out and works.
Right.
Breathe a sigh of relief, procrastinate a couple of days, and then start cutting up the boards and break it all down. So
nice.
Now that I'm through that, I'm kind of like just kind of cruising on through things. I got a lot of the base materials all kind of cut up and cut down to final dimension, and I'm getting ready to start cutting some joinery, which is what I was planning to do this afternoon, but didn't get to it. So here we are.
I'm so excited. Have you changed much in the way you film things? It's been a while. I mean, on the order of years, and you've done a lot of filming of other things with the house and all the other stuff you got going on. I'm just curious, has anything changed in your personal filming style, or just, I don't know, I get a lot more B-roll, I get a lot more close-ups, and I change my shots around. It's something I've done just in the last couple of years. So my last guild project was just a lot more taxing than what we used to do, the old style of just set the camera up and just kind of go.
I would say that I've evolved from that point too, but I'm also more cognizant of doing multicam when it makes sense. So anytime that I'm presenting the camera, instead of, even if my face doesn't matter, if I'm just like, it's not just my hands looking at a board talking about and pointing at stuff. It's like I have one camera that's close up on what's on the bench or what's on the board that I'm talking about. Then I got a wide shot of me, so I can always cut back to me looking at you instead of just seeing my hands. So that's sort of a subtle change that doesn't really add a whole lot.
When you do stupid things and like cut yourself, and you just need to cut to the wide shot to cover the fact that you're bleeding all over.
Or to show like how, like, whoa.
No, that's gold. He's going
to run off. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that sounds good. Sounds like you're having a good time. What about you, Shannon?
I used a power tool. You'll be proud of me, Mark. I followed Mark's advice. Well, actually, I've been using my lathe quite a bit, you know, still in the turning season. But I got out the Festool track saw, one of the only power tools that I hung on to just for plywood purposes. But I had a architect friend who I had done a presentation for a while ago, and he reached out to me and said, I got these slabs, and I don't know what to do with them. And first of all, I was actually really, this is a great affirmation, because we've kind of like poo-pooed slabs a little bit on this show and said they've run their course. And, you know, Matt has whole classes about using slabs to cut into skinnier parts.
That's all I just did. That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
So this architect who like decided to, like, he's been building commercial like construction steel glass all his career. I think he's probably 56, 57 in that range. And he just got into woodworking, and he's like, I'm loving this because it's taking all of like it's like building models for him. Since he builds skyscrapers, building full-size furniture is like models for him. And he's really get into it. And he's like, I found this guy like Urban Sawyer reclaim type thing, and got these slabs. And he's like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with it. Like, I don't have, like, I have a joiner and a planer, but it won't fit in the planer, and I can't join it. It's like, what do you mean you can't join it? And it was like, well, it's got bark on it. And suddenly he sent me a picture, and it was like, you know, it was a Cremona crotch special, like this big old wooden pants thing. And he was trying to turn it up an edge and joint it. And he's like, this is going to take forever, and it weighs like 900 pounds. I was like, no, what you need to do is like cut a straight line on it. You have a circular saw. And it was so funny because he didn't. Like, he went straight to like whole hog, like influencer shop. I mean, I guess he's at that stage in life. His kids are, you know, gone, and he's got excess money, and he's investing in this hobby. So he doesn't have like handheld power tools.
Oh, weird.
Like, most of us start with like, you know, the cordless 18-volt set or whatever. He went straight to an 8-inch, you know, joiner bed. So I had to explain to him how to do this, and he's like, I don't have a circular saw. I was like, I don't want to buy one. Can you just do it for me? I was like, that's fine. Bring it over. And I showed him, you know, you can put a chalk line, and you can hand saw it if you want, or you can use the Festool. And I put a chalk line down, and I just dropped the Festool saw on there. I did not use the track, and I just freehand cut it. And then he's like, well, what if I want to use the track? So I put the track down, and I did not clamp it in place. And I said, you know, my buddy Marc made fun of me for actually using the clamps on the bottom. He was like, I never clamp it in place. So I finally have used the Festool without clamping the fence dealy whacker thing in place. And you know what? Nice. It didn't move. Didn't move at all.
It generally doesn't, unless you hit it with your leg.
What is your friend making?
He's gonna make a dining table. I had to use my hands to say dining table. Apparently, I don't know. Hang out with Jersey boy over here.
Dining table over here.
Is there some kind of like interesting base design that he's gonna playing with?
He hasn't gotten that far yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought maybe like being an architect, he's got some kind of like inspiration from some architectural element that he's bringing into that. But maybe, that's fine. That's cool, man. Do you?
I didn't pressure him on it, but yeah.
You got me excited. I just wanted to hear a little story.
Expect big things. We'll see. Actually, yeah. Now that you bring that up, I'm gonna ask him. Like, are you modeling it? Like, you know, well, I mean, I know architects who don't use 3D modeling tools, but most of them are pretty savants at the software because it's their job. So I'd be curious to see what he does. Maybe get yourself in trouble if you're that good at 3D modeling that now you can't actually build it yourself.
Right.
There's that.
Anyway.
Yes.
So there we go. You heard it here first, folks. I used a power tool.
Look at you.
Maybe
That's
even
great.
correctly, according to Marc Spagnuolo.
Definitely. It sounded.
Yeah.
Matt has his doubts. It's okay. All right. Shannon, you got the first kickback here.
Yeah, there's a kickback from Greg. He says, in show 591, you mentioned Debalsid Timbers. Debalsid is not his name. It's disabled spelled backwards. A play on the fact that he has overcome his disabilities and become a kick-ass wood turner. That's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Would have never gotten that.
I
I would have never
got it.
gotten that.
To me,
in a
it
million
sounded like
years.
he was Italian. I had no idea.
Yeah.
But
Debalsid.
that's a pretty slick way to handle his name. So apologies to him for not knowing that.
Greg goes on to say, in the latest show, Marc said he wants to see a project that is 15 years in and only half finished. So the attached photo is of 2 scratch-built guitars. I started in 2010, and I would say I'm about halfway through, if not a little less. I'm finally getting back to them and hope to have one of them finished by the end of this year. Thanks for not quitting, and go Woodcraft. So I'll include these images in the notes. Maybe if we have, maybe Todd can throw it into the video or something.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Maybe we can put it on Instagram or whatever. But I think what's cool about this is like you could actually learn to play the guitar pretty well over the course of 15 years. So hopefully he's been taking lessons.
Seriously,
While
yeah. You can
he's
become
working
very
on this
good.
guitar build for 15 years. Like that, then you could justify taking 15 years. I didn't want to finish until I knew I could play Little Wing by Stevie Ray Vaughan or something like that.
So I don't know if he's got a book match, because it doesn't look totally like a book match, but there's some book match action going on that walnut one that looks really nice.
That's pretty.
Yeah, I like that. That looks good. Well, in another 15 years, I can't wait to see it done.
Yeah. You'd be 30 years of practicing at that point. You'd be
That's right.
shape.
This guy's pretty good. All right, we got another piece of feedback from Justin Caponia, maybe is how you would say that. He has two things, one for you, one for me, Shannon. He says, for your school, this is in reference to when Shannon was talking about the frustrations of making content and continuing to participate in the hand tool school, but people not realizing that he's active. Just because he hasn't made a video or something. So Justin's suggestion, for your school, I wonder if you could just repackage the questions you're already answering as a weekly or monthly post. I'm not a member of the hand tool school, but for other memberships, I just want to know that there is an active instructor and other community members. So for me, just seeing some level of activity between members and the instructor would be enough to know the school isn't dead. I don't need to see new courses or videos. So isn't it not the repackaging aspect, but you are participating in your forum and things like so you are there. There's participation.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it's a good point, and I've thought about it. My problem with that a lot of times, and I'm probably overthinking this, but I get a lot of very specific questions. And it's kind of like, would anybody else find this useful?
Yeah.
That and the fact that, once you build a library, Marc, I'm sure you can relate to this, a library large enough, and you start paying overages for every video in your Wisty account, it's kind of like, yeah, I could do that video, but there's another 25 cents.
That's
that I'm
yet
paying,
another
50
video.
cents I'm paying. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it does get
But
expensive.
no, it's a good point, and I do appreciate that, Justin.
Okay.
I will take it to heart.
All right, so here is another point he made. He says, I've purchased Marc's Rubo workbench course. I'm currently finishing it up. I do appreciate reading through all the existing comments from other members. I will say, though, seeing that the last question is from a few years ago doesn't give me a lot of confidence that I'd get a response if I asked a question today. Not a dig on Marc. I know the guild is active, but just giving a perspective as an end user. So it's crazy to me that I wasn't having the same problem you were, Shannon, last week. Like I was kind of fine with my production rate and how much I'm putting out. And now, because of Justin, I feel defensive. I'm going to get a little defensive here, and I'm going to give Justin a little bit of crap. All right, so this is the Rubo. Let me
Get some popcorn real quick.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want some for this.
Oh boy.
So the course, first of all, we're talking about a course that was released when my son was born. In fact, one of the videos wrapping up the course is me holding my infant child who is now 14 years old. So this is practically 15 years old, the course overall. Been around for a while. It was updated in 2014, I believe, and then again in 2020 because you know how Benchcraft it is. They keep making these changes to their hardware. They came out with the crisscross mechanism, and I wanted to make sure this course was still updated. So I went back multiple times to refine it so that it would make sense for people who come in today. It has a total of 2,459 comments
Is it really?
in that whole series. I think it's 25 lessons. So there's 25 lessons over 2,500 or 2,459 comments. So here's the thing. But I would say about half of those questions or half of those comments are only from other people. Because you know what the other half is from? Me answering.
Yeah.
So the other thing is I looked at all of the videos that are currently in there. About half of them do have comments from 2024 and 2025. So I'm not sure what you're looking at, Justin, because there are recent comments. But my bigger point is, are there answers or unanswered questions? If these things so my overall point is this project has been out for a long time. We did a pretty good job when we published it to make sure that everything was correct. And then anytime there's questions, I answer them. Over the course of 15 years, there's a pretty good chance that any question you're going to have on this course has already been answered, right? Like that is certainly possible. And if it hasn't been answered, ask the question. But look at every one of the questions on any one of those projects or those courses, any one of those lessons, and you're going to see a response from me because I do answer. This is now one of those things where I'm frustrated going, why doesn't Justin realize this? What did he see what did I do wrong in the presentation of the website that he thinks there aren't current comments and that he's worried that he's not going to get a response when every single other comment has a response from me? Like, I don't know what else I could do to make someone understand.
I had a similar comment the other day because the last testimonial on the sales page was from 3 years ago. My first thought was, I have testimonials?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's been a while because I forgot that I put them in there. And it's like, okay, yeah, I guess. And this is kind of what I was getting at is the court of public opinion is based upon like the majority.
Yeah.
I get comments on 12-year-old YouTube videos and it's a good question and I'll respond and people are shocked that I responded. And it's like, well, I mean, the comments still show up in my dashboard regardless of how old it is. If it's a good question, I'm gonna answer it. Even if it's a bad question, I usually answer it. But I think the usual is crickets on that stuff.
They don't expect
and frankly,
to get an answer.
Like membership site wonks talk about passive income. There's nothing passive about running a membership site.
Not if you do it this way.
You do it right, I would say. I go so far to say boldly, if you do it right instead of, I built it. I mean, I've got stuff that I filmed 15 years ago, but I'm still answering questions. In fact, one of the projects I'm working on right now is updating one of those original courses simply because, frankly, high def was invented. Since then.
The aspect ratio changed at a certain point.
Yeah, I bought better equipment because I could afford it. Yeah, stuff like that. But the techniques, that's the other thing is like woodworking hasn't changed pretty much since the Egyptians. It's pretty much been the same. I don't know. Maybe that's a new woodworker thing and maybe I'm blind to that. See, I don't think so though. I instruct new woodworkers all the time. I feel like I'm pretty in tune with a new woodworker.
That can't be it. No.
No, that can't be it. No, I know what I'm talking about. What am I saying?
Yeah.
It's me.
No, it's him. Who's better than this guy?
Bound books. Let's move on. Quickly.
All right, we're moving on. I'm going to skip this thing that's in the show notes that we haven't mentioned because it's not worth talking about, and we're running long.
That you brought it up because everyone would have known that you skipped it had you not brought it up.
I didn't want you guys to be like, "Hey, you skipped something, Mark," and I'd be like,
"Never would even."
You know
Matt,
what? I should know my.
Pay that much
you forgot what show you're on. I think
I should know my co-host better. Hold on, I got to get a little Blistex on before I do my Woodcraft mid-roll read here. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right.
You know who else has salty chapped lips?
Yeah, you know who's not going to give you chapped lips.
That's right.
Hold on a second. Are you more like a Blistex person or chapstick or Aquaphor?
Burt's Bees.
Burt's Bees? You're a Burt's Bees man? What about you, Matt? You just you grin and bear it, don't you?
Whatever the heck.
Matt just takes it raw.
Random lip balm.
If we didn't already have the show notes.
Just raw dogs those lips.
I'm very good at raw dog in the lip department.
Okay, well, good to know. I'm surprised Woodcraft doesn't have a little chapstick type thing for woodworkers.
Without chapstick, it's just work.
I guess so.
No? Is that not the saying? I don't know.
It is now.
Yeah, apparently.
All right. Well, Woodcraft wants you to just get started making.
Oh, just go right into it. Okay. Yep.
This is how I do it. Making great gifts because it's that time of year. Holidays are coming fast, and if you plan to make gifts this year, now's the time. We talked about this last time, how Shannon likes to wait till Christmas Eve. You don't want to do that. Last time we also talked about making gifts. But what about the woodworker that wants a gift? You know, you got a woodworker in your life or a friend of yours that's a woodworker. Woodcraft has so many great things that you could buy someone. For instance, I'm not
buying you anything. I'm not buying you any of this stuff. Stop hinting.
Just make the guild project, all right? That's all I want from you. I don't need anything else. So if I were to receive a gift, not from Matt, something like the Sarge pocket knife kit is pretty fantastic.
I guess he's talking to me.
I think so.
You're the only one left.
I believe so, yeah.
I better write this down.
It's on you.
I'm actually going to read this description because it's quite nice. Craft a pocket knife that you'll cherish for a lifetime or present as a remarkable gift. The Sarge Liner Lock Pocket Knife Kit allows you to create a premium quality knife without the need for specialized metalworking tools or expertise. Featuring a blade from 440C stainless steel, expertly hollow ground and polished to a stunning satin finish, this kit empowers you to shape, mount, and finish your custom handles, resulting in a truly unique and high-quality pocket knife. And get this. Let's say you don't have the wood or the means to make some, thin wood for the scales. Well, they've got that too. You can actually get scales at Woodcraft. So if you have someone who wants to just this is like a quick weekend thing. This is a one day. This is an afternoon project if you have those scales. Pretty fantastic stuff. I would not mind seeing a little thing like that in my stocking this year or under the tree, or just give it to me because I'm not, who cares? I just want it. But yeah, you're going to have to check all this stuff out. Now, Black Friday is coming up. I don't have any specifics on the Black Friday deals. I did get a flyer. I didn't get a chance to look at it yet. But November 21st through the 30th, they're having their Black Friday deals. So what I suggest you do is go to woodcraft.com during that period of time and see what's going on, because I'm pretty sure they're already hinting at some of the deals coming. I know there's certain power tool companies that run Black Friday deals that Woodcraft doesn't really control that pricing, but they're going to honor those sales, so you're going to want to check that out. Lots of good stuff coming up. And again, try to use the code WT2025 and save 10%. I do not know how that combines with other sales. So if there's a Black Friday discount, I don't know that our code is going to work for that, but it's always worth a try. Give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
Give
keep
it a
trying
shot.
Until it works.
Yep. Keep banging on it. Eventually it might work on something. So anyway, thank you so much, Woodcraft, for sponsoring the show. We really, really appreciate it. And anybody who wants to buy me one of them pocket knife hoochies, I would love it. That'd be great. Send it on over.
Send it over.
All right, let's get to our questions.
Send it to me and I'll re-gift it to Marc if you
Just
want.
happened.
I like that idea. Hey, Matt, I'm going to throw it to you first.
Hey,
we
Marc.
changed the order because Matt was going to have to go when we tried to record earlier, but I didn't change the order back, so you're first.
Whatever. I'll give you a break, I guess. All right, this is from Vaughn. Gentlemen, I've been drying some lumber recently and have come to respect how slow the process is. Let's just pause for a second to appreciate that. Yes.
Yeah, so slow.
Which leads me to my question. Is wood acclimation BS?
Probably.
Over the course of a few days or a couple of weeks that I see commonly recommended for acclimation, is anything besides the surface moisture of the wood going to change? It seems like for a piece of wood to really change to match ambient moisture, it would take at least months.
Aha!
I would say that this is like all the other silly rules of thumb that we have in the woodworking space that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for most stuff. I think if you're looking at just like 4/4 lumber, maybe you can get it to acclimate. Not in a couple of days for sure. It would be a couple of weeks. Anything thicker, probably not going to happen in any time frame that makes sense for a project. The other thing to consider is that these rules don't tell you anything about what you're actually trying to do and what the differential is between the equilibrium moisture content of the wood and what it is in the new location. How much is that gradient changing? So the only time that I find, for me personally, that makes any sort of difference is right now. This transition time here is insane for acclimating, because we went from summer acclimation, which is about 10% moisture content, to now where the indoor humidity in my house is 10%. Equilibrium moisture content is now 2%. So you take something that's sitting out in my barn or that was in the house or anywhere, it's going to have like a crazy experience here as it starts coming down. I think that's just a lot of it. It's like you actually have to understand what these things are telling you that you're trying to do. And
what I love is when people, they bring the lumber, into the shop on a job site or whatever, and we got to let it acclimate for 2 weeks, and they stack it and set it there for 2 weeks. And then they go and they start ripping it into tiny little strips.
Yeah, that was the next
like-
thing. Is like
Yeah, well, it moved, but we let it acclimate.
part of it is like there's a technique that I typically do with my milling process, and that is to like do an initial milling, get the bulk of the material out of the way, get it into flat, and then just set it aside to acclimate. So you've removed a lot of that crust layer. You've made the wood thinner. You've removed the drier or wetter part of the wood, depending on where the gradient is going at that time. And you're kind of getting closer to finished dimension, and the wood that you're going to keep can acclimate. The wood you're not going to keep, throw it away. Put in the bin.
Right.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. Get rid of some of that thickness and get down to a thinner piece and release some of the tension if you're going to be doing any ripping or resawing to allow that thing to actually acclimate and to find a new state of equilibrium itself as far as its shape goes.
Yeah, that's kind of a strategy I try to employ, especially when I know I'm going to be gone for a little while. Or gone just over the weekend.
Yeah.
If I have some parts that I can mill up and I've got a little extra time in the afternoon, I think about, okay, do I still have time the next day? Is it going to be 2 or 3 days? And if not, then maybe I just do like an initial milling, just take a little bit off so that if it moves, I could fix anything on Monday. But I'm always thinking about being strategic about that just in case there's some unexpected wood movement. And if I'm not ready to go right to joinery in final dimension, then I ain't bringing it down to that thickness right now. It can wait. Usually,
A lot of the stuff that I'm typically doing is going to take multiple days anyway. So once it's all dimensioned, I try to keep it away from air. So I'll stack them dead flat on something and then put something else on top. So there's no air exchange on that piece. So it can't acclimate and it can't go anywhere between the sessions I'm in the shop. That's another thing to consider too.
That's an
Like
interesting perspective because most people tell you sticker it, stack and sticker it.
only once it's dimensioned and ready to go and cut the final size, I do not let it acclimate at
That's a
all.
really good point.
Like the
wanna
worst thing you can
restrain
do
it
is
at that point,
the
right?
least, like the worst thing you can do in woodworking is make a panel and then set it flat on a table and walk away for a week because only one side's exposed to air and it's going to it's going to cup either way, it's depending on which way the moisture is going at that time.
yeah.
So if I'm making panels like that for like a case, like a chest of drawers or whatever, case piece, before I'm done all my joinery, all those pieces are stacked right on top of each other, and there's a piece of MDF or a piece of plywood on top of that. Or you can put it in a plastic bag, or you can put plastic on top of it. Anything to keep the air away from the wood so it can't acclimate will also help you with this too. So that's another technique that you can
Stretch
employ.
wrap, baby.
Yes.
Anytime I've made panels and then I got stuck where I had no choice but to leave the shop for a period of time, and I've got I think I went to Colorado one time on one of our longer trips, and I had panels already made, and I was just like, they're glued up, they're final thickness. So I basically just kind of organized them by size, put them into stacks, and then stretch wrapped around them, and they were perfect when I came back. It was it's pretty awesome.
Especially in these transition seasons. These are rough for movement.
Yeah.
In these times of transition and
In
strife.
these times of great transition and angst.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Not to belabor this point, but I'm curious, Matt, since pretty much all of your stuff is air dried, right? I know you got a kiln recently,
At the very least, it'll be sterilized, but the stuff that I work with is all air dried. Like the breakfast table stuff is all air dried.
have you noticed like any difference? Science says if it's kiln dried, the fibers are hardened because it was dropped to such a low temperature, and it should shrug off moisture changes, shed water quicker, and resist absorption of water longer. But I've got air dried and kiln dried stuff in my shed, and so far I've really seen.
Here's what I can say about that. I mean, it's gonna get there eventually.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff we're planning for movement regardless. What it comes down to for me is the amount of stress in that board and the amount of like how nice it is to work in the shop.
Yeah.
In either case, it makes no difference in the finished piece. I haven't found that it makes a difference in the final piece because we're planning for movement and it's all kind of cohesive in the end. But in the shop, if you go from something that's like, slowly air dried and like artisanally dried to something that's been like super duper baked to death, it's so splintery and dusty. And you rip it and it turns into 2 hockey sticks.
Yeah.
Like it's not as much fun to work with. So
The dust is terrible.
Shannon,
it's
do
a
you
very
remember
different dust.
Thermally modified ash, and this
Oh,
will
that
choke
stuff
you to
is-
death when
that
you
stuff
it's
will kill you.
so dusty.
That's crazy. That's like every board is Wenge at
Yes.
that point. Shannon, do you remember early days in the forum. Matt, you were probably still in 5th grade, so I'm not going to ask you.
I believe it. Yeah.
Where it almost seemed like, at least like when I was starting to just acquire my knowledge about woodworking, and a lot of it came from forums, to avoid air-dried lumber. It was just one of those things like, you don't want to use air-dried lumber. It's going to be less stable.
It's the same thing as this. It's another one of those like hokey-pokey woodworking BS things that rules of thumb.
Yeah. It seems like that part has changed, though. I don't hear many people, excuse me, like, spouting that you should absolutely avoid air-dried lumber. Like, so much of what people get these days is from small sawyers, and it's probably air-dried.
There's definitely pros and cons to both, but it kind of depends on, again, like, do you know who's drying it? Do you have a moisture meter? Can you verify that it's been dried? The only other thing with air-dried is, like, does it have insects in it? That's kind of the biggest thing. But at the same time, we talked about this before, just saying it's kiln dried doesn't mean anything either if it hasn't been properly sterilized.
Right.
So it's not going to protect you from insects regardless. So it's almost like, I got kiln dried, but was it properly sterilized? No. Okay, it's got eggs in it. Still, maybe.
Yeah. Hopefully.
And the funny part is I think in some ways it's
everybody loves babies.
I love them. I think it's kind of the opposite in reality, because kiln dried has allowed us to rush the drying process so much more.
Yeah.
And I think it causes more problems because there are people like trying to get it ready for sale, and they push it just a little too far. And, cutting your kiln schedule by a half a day can make really expensive firewood.
Oh, yeah.
Just by a half a day, and people do it all the time. It's like, my kiln wastage went up 5%. All right, well, it was a 20,000 board foot kiln, so do the math. That's a fair bit of wastage there. And now that's just absorbed into your total price. And I think it kind of goes the opposite. It's in some ways, kiln drying, I think, is I don't want to say it's a lost art because it's published. Kiln schedules are all over the place. But I think
people pay attention to it, though.
Exactly. Yeah. And now you've got so many different ways to kiln dry. It just used to be dehumidification kilns, industrial, and now we've got vacuum kilns and RF vacuum kilns and a variation on dehumidification kilns and now modified lumber, through thermal modification and acetylization and all that fun stuff. And now there's just so many moving targets that caveat emptor. That was Latin.
You guys know Tim Fuller, right? Retired with wood. I bought wood from him a few different times. And there have been a number of times where he's explained the kiln drying process that he and the guy that he works with uses, and some of the tests that they've done in terms of time frames, how long, temperature, and stuff like that. A lot of it was over my head, but it is interesting to see. I was kind of surprised to see firsthand how much a difference it can make in these small changes, and how just putting it into a particular environment that happens to be a little drier and a little warmer is not the same as properly kiln drying. And the stuff that I've gotten from him proved out to be some of the most stable, beautifully easy to work with material that, like, after the cut just stays put. It stays right where, like, I've never had any pinching or any spreading after the cut. It really proved to me that, like, you got to get someone who knows what the heck they're doing, and it will make a difference in how much truly usable material you get out of that, and then consequently how stable your projects are after that point. And
that's probably where that, what you were talking about in the forums, Mark, that's probably where that stems from. It's the dude selling lumber out of the trunk of his car, same guy selling tools to Matt Vanderlist out of the trunk of his car at the Harbor Freight parking lot, and people have bad experiences with lumber, and they're like, well, it's got to be kiln dried. Well, properly kiln dried should be the appropriate phrase there.
Yeah, for sure.
What does that mean? I suppose that's a relative term.
There you go.
Anyway.
All right, good stuff.
That was good
talk. Good talk.
Thank you, Vaughn.
That
was a good one.
All right, I think we should just leave now.
Yeah. See you later, guys.
All right. So we got a question here from James. He says, a few weeks ago, the three of you responded to my question about the workbench that I built for my little shop, a bench that I spent several months and more than $2,000 building. I was very proud of my accomplishment, which has since evaporated and been replaced by shame and growing sense of inadequacy as I continue to learn about all of the features and options that I did not include. Now, I'm going to pause here. Did we do that?
I hope
you guys
not.
Remember this?
That's the impression that I'm getting.
I believe this is the bench that wouldn't stay flat.
And we were just giving them advice on how to address the lack of flatness. And
I think so. I feel like that's what this was.
But I would hope that
Once again, this is how much like planning we do for this show.
Yeah, we probably should have
The
looked
question
into
that
that.
references the previous show and answers we gave, and yet we have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, and I would just hope that we didn't do that because let me continue.
I feel like in my memory, this is the bench that wouldn't stay flat.
Yeah, and we were talking about different strategies for like whether you could screw it down to the base. Is the base going to be strong enough to pull it flat?
I believe in my mind that was that episode.
Okay. Well, he continues, having watched my millionth video now, I recognize that no self-respecting woodworker would have a bench that was only 2.5 inches thick, was not a split-top Ruba design, and did not have a leg vise or square dog holes with pop-up bench dogs. I guess my question is this: would it be better to stop referring to myself as a woodworker and keep using my bench, or to sell or donate my bench and buy a new Schoberg? Before you answer, you should perhaps know that I do not own any Festool, Jet, Lee Nielsen. I like that he said Jet instead of Powermatic. Lee Nielsen, Lee Valley Veritas, or Saw Stop tools. In fact, my shop more closely resembles the back room of a Harbor Freight store. So perhaps
not a Harbor Freight store, the back room of
just
a
the
Harbor
back room. And all that's back there is donuts. And
everything is still on the pallet racks, all in the boxes.
So perhaps it's a little ludicrous to even have referred to myself as a woodworker in the first place. And that's James from Albuquerque.
I wish James would have said like what things he thinks he's missing that he needs, or what he put into this bench.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek in this, but
certainly some tongue-in-cheek. But if there's, the reason I put it in here is because there might be people who really do walk away with that feeling. We all have pretty thick workbenches, right? If you built the Rubo, popularized by Benchcrafted and Chris Schwarz, that a lot of us have kind of gravitated toward, you're looking at least at a 4-inch thickness. Prior to that, my workbenches were never even close to that. It was just
my
something
main
that
workbench is 2x4 material.
Yeah.
Nicholson design with a wide, front apron, but it's literally 2x12s on the top.
Right. And like you were saying, Matt, like he didn't say what it can't do or what things he didn't include. A lot of times those things
or
can be
what things he's like predicated himself from adding. Like you could add a vise to anything.
Yeah.
A leg vise, you could add a leg vise to that bench.
Right.
Presumably.
Well, and more importantly, what is this bench doing? Or I'm sorry, what is this bench not doing for you? He hasn't mentioned like, now that I've seen all the things that other benches can do, I've tried X, Y, Z, and I just can't accomplish that on my workbench. I guess, like I said, I wanted to put this in here because if anybody has a decent 2.5-inch thick bench that's actually doing what they needed to do, don't listen to anybody who tells you need a 4-inch thick workbench and it has to be a split top Rubo. The fact that we have them is a reflection on the fact that we've been doing this for a while and we've upgraded and we've eventually moved into that.
How gullible we were when we read Chris Schwarz's Blue Workbench book all those years ago.
He is very convincing.
He really is.
The man makes a good argument. Maybe it's his fault that we have this question in the first place.
Go.
But honestly, let's not be crazy. Like I said, I think James is kidding around a little bit here. But yeah, you're a woodworker if you're doing woodworking. And if you've got a 2.5-inch thick bench that's working for you, don't listen to anybody else. Everybody else is stupid.
And James,
keep doing what
I
you're
do
doing.
consider myself to be a woodworker, and I have round dogs. And
Look at that guy.
holes.
He should be ashamed with those round dogs.
No, terrible. I'm not a woodworker.
I've even said in my Rubo course that if I had to build it again myself, given the fact that there are so many round dog hole accessories that specifically work with that format, I really have a hard time justifying going with a traditional square dog design. I like them. I think they look cool. But round is so much more versatile. It's so much easier to make. It's really hard to justify.
I just love that I can like batch out round dogs out of a dowel. Yeah. And you can buy these ball catches for like 20 of them for like a couple of bucks.
Right.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
So anyway, little pep talk there, James. Don't worry about what you call yourself. That's just a label. Have fun woodworking. Use your workbench and ignore all the BS out there. Stop watching videos too. Yeah. Unless you're watching one of the three of us, you can continue to watch us. Everybody else, just stop.
Even then, you might want to reconsider.
Depends on the
just get back to the shop.
Yeah. All right, let's close it out, Shannon.
Here's a question. This is actually from Joe, our lathe tool winner. He actually put that in his little feedback, and I liked the question. He says, remember, Joe has that like safety be damned old Craftsman lathe. And he says, is there any benefit to spinning a lathe backwards? The replacement motor I picked up has the capacity to spin both ways, and I did not take the time to rewire it to only spin the correct way. Sanding? Finishing? Time travel? Ooh. It worked for Superman in the original movie, so you just spin it backwards.
Yep.
So yeah, I've heard this of a number of times. Sanding, this actually makes a fair bit of sense. If they'll say that if it's spinning away from you, it helps to press down and cut away the fibers. But the reason that I like it when it spins the other way is it spins the dust away from my face. And if I have like a dust shroud or a hose, it's usually coming in from the back of the lathe, and it's amazingly clean. When the dust is running towards it instead of towards my face and having to like be sucked back backwards. So sanding, I do think there's something to be said about possibly a better quality sanding, but that might be just sand with a higher grit if it's not working right. But the dust spinning away from you, really good idea. Where a lot of these reversible directional lathes, especially the older ones, came from is lathes were often used both for wood turning and machining, and turning threads, specifically left-handed threads, require that to spin the other direction. And this is still something you see on a lot of machinist lathes. But I did a little bit of digging, and this is why I didn't think of this, because I'm not a good turner, we'll just put it that way. But hollow form turning, it can be a great way to spin it the other way, and then you can actually get you can stand on the other side of the lathe and get a better view of your cutting tool as you're deep down into a hollow form. I never saw David Marks do this, so I just never thought about it. And he's the guy I turn to when I think of like deep hollow form turning, but
The guy you
it makes
turn
sense.
to.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Pun not intended. But so that's the other reason. If there are strong wood turners out there that are saying you missed this reason, then chime in. But yeah, there is some merit to it. I think the sanding cleanliness is the biggest one.
Cool.
Can I give you mine?
Yeah.
If you must.
Quickly unthreading my lathe chuck.
Ah.
Okay.
Is that not dangerous?
Are you in that
Probably
big of a hurry?
is. Probably is.
Hold on tight.
Don't do that one at home. But he's got the lathe with no safety, whatever. So I felt like it was the perfect opportunity to mention that one.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's
I
not
usually
worried
just
about
grab the headstock, grab the lathe, and spin it, and it
He's
comes
got time
undone.
for that. Just hit the reverse button and psh, it's gone.
Matt's got places to be, man.
I got things to do. I got
he's
places
living
to
life.
be. I
He
got
treats it
things
like
to
a drill
chuck up.
bit. You just
Yes, that's exactly what it's
Seriously.
like. It's like a
Got
drill.
it set to 3,600 RPMs. I need it off now. I can't
love it.
wait.
Hey, look,
got
if
places to
anybody
be.
is going to do something like that, it's going to be Matt.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
yeah. I'm fine with that.
And then he puts the chuck on the forklift and moves
Yes.
it across the shop on the forklift.
I can't pick stuff up. You crazy?
I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
for that.
Jeez, not with that injured
Ain't nobody
finger.
got time for that.
Nice. All right. Well, I think that is going to do it for us today. Remember, I bought a new bike, and this show is made possible by the generous contributions of our patrons.
I had actually forgotten.
I just wanted to remind you, patreon.com/woodtalk is where you can go to help support the show. And, we got to get better at asking questions there. I like getting questions from patrons. So we'll try to do that a little more often.
And everybody else, don't worry.
And
questions.
that too. Yep. And of course, we can't forget to thank our friends over at Woodcraft. There's always something going down at your local store. Be sure to check out the website, and all your stores, generally your local store, will have a website where their local events will be there. And I will just remind you, because we got an email from someone who went to a store, there wasn't an event. We did say this in the last show. We're going to say it again. You need to call your local store. Like, keep in mind, we don't work for Woodcraft. We are just sponsored by Woodcraft. We convey the messages that are sent to us.
Mark, Matt, Shannon said it was here.
They said
Open
you
up,
would be
damn it.
here. I want those battery-powered
demand
tools. It was
satisfaction.
the Craig event. The place just wasn't having it, and the guy went there. And so this is what we're trying to say. Just call them, double check, make sure they're having any of these events that we talk about. If it's like one of the ones that, like we say, every store has
Don't
them.
believe us.
To our knowledge,
Check your sources.
They do,
Do your
but-
own research.
yeah, please double check. Don't drive for a few hours and find out that they don't have the event. Double check it. But anyway, events that we do know are happening at particular stores.
Kind of terrified to say this next segment here.
Well, I mean, send your emails to Matt if
Good.
something
Yeah,
goes wrong.
I'm the event guy now. I see what happened here. I see why I'm reading these now.
You're the event coordinator.
Oh boy. All right. Like Mark said, make sure you check out your local store for all of their local events. There's always something going on at your local Woodcraft. And there's a whole list of things. take a class, do an event, do whatever. Here's a few very specific ones that we thought we'd mention. The Rockville store has 10 ways, 10 ways, only one way, 10 ways to cut dovetails with Bob Van Dyke. That's going to be Saturday.
One true way.
There's only one
the guy
true
looks
way.
like Jesus.
One true way.
There's only one true way and 9 wrong ways to cut dovetails.
What?
Saturday,
Pause for a
November
second.
29th.
What would the 10 ways be?
You got to show up and find out.
I might go. That's a 45-minute drive for me.
That's close for you. I want to know what
Yeah.
these 10 ways are.
We need to go find out the 10 ways.
I mean, you got your classic hand cut. You got your router cut. You could do with a router table, right? So kind of bringing the work to the router table. You could probably pull some off. You'd have to watch your sizing, but you can use the table saw to make them. You
Yeah.
could use the bandsaw.
Bandsaw.
I'm done. I'm out. I'm out at 5.
Bandsaw,
What else?
Frame saw versus a back saw? I mean, it's a different way, right?
You could outsource it.
Yeah. You could just chisel them out.
Just bought these.
Just bought them. There we go.
You could just have
I
Rob
love it.
Cosman do it.
Outsourcing it is always an option.
Yep. Okay, I like where we're going here. Oh, I didn't mention
Send
a
it to
dovetail jig.
Canada.
Of course,
Hey,
a
Rob,
standard
cut these.
classic dovetail jig.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we get
I
to
love how
10.
into this you are.
I'm just real curious. I think we need to do more quizzes and stuff like this. I'm going to come up with some fun stuff for us to
Quizzes.
do. We need some quizzes.
Sounds like personality quiz is what I'm thinking. Like,
Yeah. Pins or tails first? What's your idea of a
That's
good
2
time,
ways.
Matt?
That's 2 ways. So
Well, I guess so.
everything you just said,
all of those
cut the
times
tails
two.
first.
Pins and
Yeah.
tails first could be 2. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so all
well,
you need is 5 ways, and then
Yeah. Then you got
tails first
2.
and pins first, and you got 10. Piece of
well, let Matt tell you the dates, Shannon, so you know where to go and when.
cake. Okay.
all right, Saturday, November 29th and November 30th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's a double back-to-back. If you go twice, you can find 20 ways to cut them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Forget the first 10 and start over.
All right, the Walpole store needs volunteers for the wooden toy truck build for Toys for Tots. That is going to be, the build is Saturday, December 6th from 9:30 to 3 p.m.
Nice.
Sounds like fun.
What a great
I'll
cause.
Make some toy trucks.
Build a toy truck.
Very nice. You know, my kids were never that interested in like the wooden toy stuff. I made a few things for them, and they just my dogs are more interested in
Yeah.
things made of wood than my children are.
It's from you. That's the problem.
That
That's
is
it,
true.
yeah. If Matt made it
Good
and
point.
gave it to your kids, they'd like it.
Literally anyone else other than me would be appreciated.
We should like do a gift exchange, you and me. Like you make stuff for my kids, and I make stuff for your kids, and they'll actually appreciate it.
I love this idea. I love where it's
you
going.
can send the trucks that your dogs love to my dogs, Mark.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. And now the triangle is complete.
I love it.
Hey, I heard you got a new bike.
Triangle.
Did
I
you get
did.
a new bike, Mark?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Did you notice my trainer's not back there? What's going on? Should we talk about it? No, probably not. All right. Why don't you give him that contact info, Shannon, and we'll get out of here.
Send in your questions. Send them to us. woodtalkshow.com. There's a form there. You can email us, woodtalkshow@gmail.com. Send in your emails. Guess how many bikes Mark owns yet. If he's equaled, more importantly, has he equaled the number of bikes that I own?
Oh, boy.
Because that's
No.
true sickness.
Definitely not.
But yeah, and also questions. And hey, send us your 10 ways to cut dovetail.
Yeah,
And,
let us know.
if there are quizzes that you want to hear us do on the show, oh boy,
Yeah, if you guys, I
Pull
would
out-
love it. Like if the
pull out
audience
your Cosmo.
write some quizzes for us, and we'll do a little game show. We've got music for like game show stuff that we can do.
That
Good, a
sounds
new
like fun.
segment.
Do that. Do what he said.
Oh, that sounds
That guy
so fun.
That's on my computer screen right now. Do what he said. Send in quizzes.
Yeah.
We'll do them.
You know what I can't wait for? You know how people used to complain when we'd go off topic and do the inside baseball
Used to?
content talk?
They haven't complained for a while.
Not in a while. I think they've gotten used to it, and the people who didn't like it left. I think we're going to get complaints about too much bike talk now. Probably after
well.
this show.
Wasn't me.
Oh, well.
Not it.
You know what? You know what you should do if it bothers you talking about bikes? Go for a bike ride.
Yeah.
You'll feel
exactly.
better.
Sign up for the Wood Talk group ride. It's on Saturdays at 8 a.m. Leaves from the local Woodcraft.
Yeah, that's right.
We should totally do that. Why am I not doing that?
Oh my god, that would be amazing. Okay. Anyway, let's put this thing to bed. Thank you for listening, everybody, and we will catch you next time.
Good night.
Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's
Sleep
right.
tight.
Yeah, we won't see them until after Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Black Friday. If you're not into Thanksgiving.
That's the best part of Thanksgiving. All right, bye.
The turkey and the greasy ham.